to the as yet unnamed YouTube channel. So I competed at the 70.3 World Championships in Lahti, and I thought we'd do a wee cheeky video. And I thought I'd wear a nice subtle outfit showing that I am indeed a World Championship finisher. And indeed got the finisher t-shirt, got the medal, got the hat, got no idea, as they say, all the kit, no idea. And hang on, let me just put on something a bit more comfortable. I look like an absolute wanker. Ah, that's better, a bit more subtle. Now I'm a bit more comfortable. Calm down, I'm taking the piss. Cut. So, upfront disclaimer, everybody's first YouTube video has got to be crap. So this is going to be crap. I've got a Scottish accent, you're not going to understand a word I say. So why am I doing YouTube? What else have I got to do? I've only got 3 sports to train for. Swim, bike, run. I mean, it's not like I've got a full-time job or I'm a dad. To both a puppy and a human. So yeah, let's give this a go. Let's shoot a video. See if you enjoy it. If you don't, I might still do another one. You never know. Might not. You might enjoy it and I might still not do another one. Christ, I've not thought this through. I am just going to wing this, so I'm going to talk a lot of nonsense, most likely. But I'm going to talk about the pro women's race, because I got quite a bit of footage from that. A bit about getting qualified for this World Championship event. And a wee bit about my race. And a bit about maybe my background in triathlon, which is very amateurish. So let's get going. So we flew in from Edinburgh into Helsinki airport. From there we got the train direct from the airport into Helsinki Central. In the centre of Helsinki, our hotel was right there, nice and easy. Public transport in Finland, from what I can tell, super easy, brilliant. Top tip, mothers and children under 7 travel for free. Isn't that marvellous? So if you are supervising a child who's under 7, children under 7 get on the train for free, and someone's got to supervise them, so they go on for free too. Fantastic initiative from Finland, so take note, world. We also got the train from Helsinki into Lahti, which was also very easy. So definitely, if you do Lahti 70.3 in future, public transport, forget taxis, you don't need taxis. It's fantastic over there. So got to the hotel in Lahti. First thing you do, you build your bike up, make sure there's no problems, make sure everything's working, battery's powered up on the Di2, everything was all good, which brings me to watching Christian getting ready ahead of I think it was a PTO race, and he's doing his bike, setting it up in his room, in his hotel room, just like any amateur, getting it ready. He's using his fingers to measure the width of his bars and the height of his saddle post. No measuring tapes, nothing. This is a professional. He's winging it, absolutely winging it. He's got no chance that that bike is set up the same way from his last race, which is hilarious because it's Christian Blumenfeld, Olympic gold champion, Ironman World Champion. Pretty sure he's won the 70.3 World Championships. The guy's won it all. He just needs to add Kona to his belt, and he'll not do that this year, maybe next year. But it's just mental. And the guy's not even got a torque wrench. That's one step ahead of Christian Blumenfeld. I'll be. I bring a torque wrench with me, but he doesn't. Still, he finishes an Ironman about 6 hours ahead of me, which is pretty hilarious, to be honest. So, bike built, all ready to go. Get to the expo, register, get my race bags, my transition bags, get my stickers for the helmet, for the bike, and get all organised. Have a wander in the expo, buy the bits I need, all that sort of stuff, and then get ready for the evening, get a good sleep in ahead of the women's race, which is one of the best things about going to World Championships. You have women's and men's races on separate days, which means you actually get to race and watch a race, which is fantastic.
Representing Australia, please welcome Ellie Salthouse. Representing the United States of America, she was seventh across the line at the Ironman 70.3 World Championship in 2022. Make some noise for Jackie Herring in bib number 8. She finished ninth in the 2022 edition of the Ironman 70.3 World Championship today. She was bib number 11. Representing Canada, please welcome Tamra Jewett. Wearing bib number 15, representing the United Kingdom, she was second in the 2021 Ironman World Championships. Please make some noise. Kat Matthews. Ironman 70.3 World Championship, your 2023 European Ironman 70.3 champion. Wearing bib number 9, representing Germany, welcome Laura Philipp. Wearing bib number 6, representing Great Britain, she is your 2016 Ironman 70.3 World Champion. Please welcome Holly Lawrence. 5-time Ironman 70.3 World Champion and 5-time Ironman World Champion, representing Switzerland in bib number 4. Make some noise for Daniela Ryf. Wearing bib number 3, representing the United Kingdom, she finished in 3rd place at last year's Ironman 70.3 World Championship. Make some noise for Emma Pallet-Brown. She was your silver medalist in the 2022 Ironman 70.3 World Championship. An Olympian representing Canada, it's Paula Findlay in bib number 2. Number 1, Olympian, and your defending champion at the 2023 Finland Ironman 70.3 World Championships. It's Taylor Knibb from the United States of America.
And at this time, we invite the rest of our professional women to the start line. Please stand just outside your box. And to all the fans, I think you can be a little bit louder. On 3, a huge cheer for our professional women. Come on, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Big boss, Ironman 70.3 World Championship, Lahti, Finland, is a go, 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 go.
Very close, they've got less than 15 meters to go. Some bike course furious. Mark Allen said it was a beautiful bike course when he rode it. Me being from Finland, I may be a bit biased, but it truly is a beautiful bike course.
Kan biri kana lao. No. Tätä vihmiä on trek. On trek ja su. Sitten vaan niitä raskas korkeammin. Tällä on grab, capacity grab.
Ah.
You're defending 70.3 European champion racing out of Germany, Lawrence and Paula Findlay.
Can you clap your hands and I'll hold you?
Amelia, do you remember? She must remember from the cycle.
Yeah.
Remember from the World Championships,
Yeah.
she was out clapping. You good, Amelia?
She goes! Very, very fast transition from Taylor Knibb, your defending champion of the 2022. It is Imogen Simmonds. Here she is. Looking for her fight number. Absolutely fantastic racing from Imogen.
More, Amelia.
She's putting on socks here with us in transition. She's taking her time, making sure that everything is just right before she leaves onto that performance course. Here we go. Are we ready to make some noise for Imogen? She's ready to go. Here she is.
I'm clapping, Amelia. Bravo, Amelia. More, Amelia.
Representing the United Kingdom is Kat Matthews! There she is, come on Kat Matthews! Absolutely incredible! It's Imogen Simmonds, second here last year at the Ironman 70.3 World Championships. Daniela Ryf, your five-time Ironman 70.3 World Champion, coming in here number 2 with Paula Findlay. She was second at the Ironman 70.3 World Championship last year. What a chasing pack! Chasing Taylor Knibb and Imogen Simmonds. Who will be the quickest in transition? Who will get their socks on the quickest? Taylor Knibb didn't waste any time in transition, but there is no fear that these girls need to make sure that everything is perfect before they head out on that run course. Kat Matthews taking a quick look around. She heads out on the run. Here she is. And then next on the transition is getting her 17.
Come on, Paula! She's ginger. She's practically Scottish.
Here we go, your next athlete into transition. She now heads into transition.
Yeah, I think she pulled out. I don't know.
And here we go, Ellie Soltaps. Well done, Ellie. And powering her way up the hill. Your next athlete into transition. Yay! Unstoppable on the course today. 2 times on 70.3. World Championship, and she cannot believe it, crossing the finish line here today in 3rd position. Another fantastic performance. We are ready to welcome Emma Palafrau from the United Kingdom on another great day of racing. Emma Palafrau has had today. Fantastic, Emma. She will finish in 4th position. Ironman 70.3 World Championships. She will round out our podium in 5th position here today. Congratulations, Paula Findlay. Turning around to thank the crowd. She is a proud favourite, that's for sure. Congratulations, Paula.
So, qualifying for the World Championships, I managed to do that via virtual racing during COVID in 2020. Say whatever you like about that. I know how hard I worked for that qualification. You had to race every weekend. By racing every weekend, you were always going into each other weekend, absolutely knackered because you'd just been racing and you've been putting everything into it, and you were still doing your training load, no taper for racing, so you were just working hard all the time. And knowing that the course is at your home, you knew you could work hard, and if you worked too hard, you just roll into bed and you recover there. You knew you could do that. So it was a different way to qualify, but it was merited. I worked so hard. Never been so fit in my life. Never worked so hard. So I definitely know I deserved that qualification. But saying that, I do want to qualify for the 70.3 World Championships from a race in the future, and that's my next goal. So I've never been a swimmer, and I've really struggled with progression in my swim. I did try having a coach for a while, but I just didn't really understand my body enough to understand what I was being told at the time. And I did intend to start doing swimming lessons again in 2019 or then 2020, but then swimming lessons sort of evaporated as the pools closed and all that sort of stuff, and I just never got around to it again. So I never made any progress. And then in 2023, something clicked about March, April, and I just gained 30 seconds per 100 metres. And I was blown away by my progress. I was so happy. And then I went over my ankle whilst trail running, and I was out of the pool, and I couldn't do any training at all, to be honest. The ankle mobility was just gone. And so when I returned to training about 10 weeks later, as it happened, I just wasn't able to find that swim technique or speed again. So my swim times for a 1900 metre swim range from about 36 to 48, I think, was my first ever swim in Barcelona. So I didn't know what I was going to hit this time round, but I was hopeful it'd be sub 40 and closer to 36. In the end, I came in about 39 minutes, 39:20 I believe, which isn't terrible considering I hadn't wore a wetsuit since my last race in June 2022. Hadn't even put it on, so on race morning it was a worry the wetsuit was going to burst open because of my fat gut. You just never knew what was going to happen. But the wetsuit went on okay, and the swim was pretty uneventful. It was just slow. There was nothing great from it. The weather was perfect, the sea was calm as anything. you couldn't have asked for a better swim. If you look at my GPS, I've never swam more accurately in all my time. It's just straight lines the whole way, which is fantastic for me, but there was no excuses. Definitely didn't break any speed records going through transition 1. Got my wetsuit off, threw the goggles in the bag, got ready for the bike and set off. The bike started pretty well. I felt like, you're never quite sure, but I felt like I was on for about a 2 hour 30 through the first hour. But the rain had started. Now the course is probably a perfect course for cycling on. It's got enough lumps and bumps that you can gain some speed and carry momentum through the hills and the climbs, and so keeping speed is pretty good. So I think a lot of people will have good times. But what I found was I've done all my training indoors. I literally haven't been on my bike since my last race in Helsingør in June outdoors, apart from for one duathlon which was on a racetrack, so I didn't have to deal with much in terms of technical cycling or hills or descents. So when the rain started early on in the cycle, as the wetter the ground got, the less confidence I had. Certainly I had no confidence on my brakes, no confidence on my descents. When I could see round corners I was okay, but when I couldn't, even though all the corners on this course were safe, I didn't know that until I knew that, and so I just lost a lot of speed and momentum on the course. So what I hoped would be about a 2 hour 30 soon turned into 2 hour 48, which is fine. It's not, again, breaking any records for me. I think my best cycle time is about 2 hour 30. So 2:48 on the day with cold rain and a bit of wind. It's okay for me. I'll take it. With my fitness where it was, I couldn't really grumble. I would have liked to have gone faster. I'd have liked to put a bit more power through. But saying that, by not going full out on the bike, maybe I was going to have a better run. Who knew? But yeah, an okay bike.
There they go! Look at me there, Daddy! Daddy! It's Daddy! It's... Go, Daddy! Go, Daddy! Did you say Daddy? Yeah.
So into transition 2. I don't know if it's a long transition. My time was rather slow for transition 2. 5 minutes, exactly the same pretty much as transition 1, where transition 1 you've got a lot more to do. So I obviously went through there pretty chilled, and started to run comfortably. I felt good. So the run course was billed as flat, which then got upgraded to rolling hills, and they could have just called it hilly, to be honest. It was a tough course, a real solid course, and in fact they could have probably put the word mountainous ahead of it, because they even built man-made structures that you had to run up. Hilarious. Coming out of transition 1, you had to run straight up I don't know, 15% incline, admittedly only for about 50 metres, maybe not even that, 20 metres, but that sapped your legs straight away. But then you got to come back down again. Some people don't like running down hills. I was really opening up on the downhills in this course. But this man-made structure, you had to do it 3 times, once coming out of transition 1, once again on the start of the second lap, and then once just ahead of the finish line. So they were really, really out to get you. Whoever designed the course was a sadist. That's a fact. But no, it was a fun course. It was really challenging. Definitely the hardest running course I think I've done on a half Ironman. Usually they're flat. This was tough. So I was quite pleasantly surprised at the halfway point, somewhere between 10 and 11k. I was looking solid. But I did start worrying that the pace I was carrying wouldn't maintain and I might blow up. So I made the conscious decision when I started the second lap to take breaks at the aid stations, which was interesting because I hadn't really used any nutrition throughout the whole race. On the bike I used about 600 mils of a Morton mix. That's it, nothing else, because it was cold and wet. I didn't feel the need. I just didn't take it in, so there was a good chance I was going to blow up on the run. And the only nutrition I took on the run was I took 2 gels in a soft flask, which was diluted with water, and I just sipped on that every so often. That's all I had, and it worked out well for me actually. It turns out that's, for a cold race anyway, that's the nutrition plan that seems to work for me at the moment. Going about that pace, of course. If I up the pace and the power, maybe I need a bit more nutrition, of course. And then, as I say, walked aid stations, was very conscious not to go above 30 seconds or a minute of walking. I don't think any of my splits are much worse than a 5-minute kilometre, so we kept a reasonably good pace for the second lap. I was hopeful of a 1:30 after the first lap, but I knew that if I went for my strategy of walking a bit, that was never going to happen. So I came into the finish line running a 1:41 half marathon, which is not bad after a 90k cycle, sapping the legs, and of course not having the best build up and having an injury to my ankle, which I didn't really mention earlier. It might have actually been a fracture rather than a sprain because it took so long to heal. Might be due to old age now as well. I mean, look at me. I look like I'm 60-year-old these days. So who knows? But I was pretty happy with a 1:41 for the run. And coming into the finish line, getting to see my daughter there, cheering at the sides, fantastic. And that's what really made the day for me, knowing my daughter was watching the race. And I seen her obviously watching the women's race the day before. She was really enjoying it, watching all the bikes and all the runners going past and clapping, which was marvellous for me to watch. So I'm hoping we've got a wee triathlete in the making in future, but no pressure from Dad.
We're going to wait for Daddy. Let's go see Daddy.
From Canada, Thomas Martin. Congratulations, Thomas. A well-deserved complimentary towel and break.
Steady!
Yeah, on the finish line.
Let's go see Daddy.
Vincent Olin,
It's coming.
Julian Pervot,
Daddy's here.
Andrew Santanelli, and Thiago Ferraz. Taking over the one and only Joanne Murphy from Ireland. Hello, Joanne.
So, quick rundown on how my race went. Interestingly, my very first 70.3, pretty much my first triathlon, was Calais, Barcelona, 2016, I think, maybe 2015. I now forget how long I've been doing triathlon for. Life's a blur. But my time was 6 hours, 19 minutes and 14 seconds. Exactly 1 hour and 1 second slower than I just did at the World Championships. So it's good to know there's progress there, despite the injury and so on. So I'm pretty happy with that. What I particularly liked was watching my daughter watching the race. She's only 1.5, beautiful wee thing, and just loves life. And she was clapping and cheering at the women's race on the day before, and I could see her obviously in the crowd. It's great watching her as a father, and hoping that she'll be a wee triathlete in the future, but of course no pressure from me. She will do whatever she wants to. So I'm pretty happy with my race in general. My aim going forward is going to be to try and qualify for the World Championships at a race, not at virtual racing, and see what I can do with a bit of a better training block without injury, and see if I can get some consistent training going. So that's the plan going forward.
Emilia? Emilia?
Jack Moody, go, 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 go.
Emilia, where's your pram?
Hyvä, kun urheiluliitto